Hmm. Good evening, everyone. Uh, the other day, I had been talking about uh, the structure of a classical music composition, how uh, classical music is performed, uh, the parts that are rendered. We begin with a alap in a very slow motion, setting up the mood, building upon uh, building an environment upon which uh, we we perform. And we start with the first note, that is the sargam, the first note, that is the that we sing, that sets the building block upon which the entire uh, performance is based. That sa should be steady, confident while you are singing the sa, rather than wobbly. So before that, you can do some warm up exercises to sing that, to start with that sa beautifully. And then we sing alap, slow motion alap, uh, based on the raga which we are performing, or if we are if we are performing in a particular raga, we sing notes pertaining to that raga. But depending upon our composition, we can sing many notes together, blending one note with the other. Apart from that, after the alap, we move on to vilambit, or we might skip that vilambit also. So vilambit or ati vilambit, slow or very slow, and then we move on to medium speed, or we directly move on to the fast speed. Sometimes medium speed is skipped, we directly move on to the fast speed. And we sing a bandish, the main composition, the main lines sung on time cycles. In vilambit also there are time cycles, in ati vilambit or in fast pace time cycles. The bandish or the little work that we do are all based on time cycles. So the time cycle can be a 16-beat time cycle like tintal or a choti tintal, a 10-beat time cycle like a jhaptal, or a 12-beat time cycle like ektal, 6-beat time cycle like dadra, 8-beat time cycle like kaharwa. And the time cycle, the beats are denoted by bowls in the tabla. And those beats we need, and the bowls we need to be very much acquainted with to perform, so that we can pick up from anywhere in the middle flexibly, with flexibility, and we can do fast dance or medium fast dance. So the starting point of a bandish is the mukra. That may be the first beat of a time cycle, or the second beat, or the third beat, or the fourth, or the fifth, or the eighth beat, or the ninth beat, or it can be ninth beat, 10th beat, any beat. But most commonly it is either the first beat. If it's a 16 beat cycle, it's the first beat or the 8th beat, or if it's a 10 beat cycle, it's the first beat or the 5th beat, 6th beat, first beat or the 6th beat, like that. So we complete our bandish, and we complete the first line of the bandish. Then we sing tans. We can sing tans. Tans are basically combination of notes that are sung. Combination of notes that are sung at a pace. So we can sing 2 notes in one beat, or 4 notes in one beat, or 3 notes in one beat. Like in one beat, if my beat is dha, we can sing sarega in dha, or we can sing sare in dha, or saregama in dha only. So that determines our pace. So dha din din da, dha din din dha, saregama pa ga, saregama pa ga re, sarega re ga ma pa ga re. So like that. Saregama re ga ma pa ma da, saregama re ga ma pa ga ma pa da ma, saregama re ga ma pa ga ma pa da pa, saregama re ga ma pa ga ma pa, saregama re ga ma pa ga ma pa da ma pa da ni, saregama re ga ma pa ma, saregama re ga ma pa ga ma pa da ma pa da ni. 4 beats in one, 4 notes in one beat. Then we can start a tan from stom, or from the second beat, third beat, anywhere, and we can end also anywhere, but pick up at the correct position. So for that we need to be very well versed with the bandish, the words of the bandish, the syllables of the bandish. But usually we pick up from a syllable that is a proper word, that has a sentiment, that has meaning. So we start from a proper word. So accordingly we end our tan. And then there is Sthayee, doing the same tan 3 times. It may be say in ektal, 12 beat, we can do a 4 beat Sthayee, 4 beats. Pa ba da ma ma ga re sa, pa ba da ma ma ga re sa, pa ba da ma ma ga re sa, pa da ma ma ga re sa, pa da ma ma ga re sa, pa da ma ma ga re sa. Or 8 beat, 8 into 3, 24. Pa ba da ni da ma ma ga ma ma ga re sa, pa da ni da ma ma ga ma ma ga re sa, pa da ni da ma ma ga ma ga re sa. 8 beat. Or it may be 12 beats, 12 into 3, 36. Pa ba da ni da ma ma ga re sa, ni ga ma ma ga re sa, pa da ni da ma ma ga re sa, ni ga ma ma ga re sa, pa da ni da ma ma ga re sa, ni ga ma ma ga re sa. 12 beats. So like this is Sthayee. And then there is Nodha. After doing the Antara, the Sthayee and the Antara, Usually a composition is divided into two parts, Sthayee and Antara. In Dhrupad it has got four parts, Sthayee, Antara, Abhog and Sanchari. But in normal compositions that we sing, in classical Hindustani classical music, there are two parts, Sthayee and Antara. So after doing all the tans in Sthayee and Antara and little bits of alap work also in the time cycles. Like if it's a 12-beat cycle, the 12 beat is playing, we do slow paced alap work. So that alap work can be done in 3 beats, in 4 beats. We do a 4-beat alap work and then we do the bandish. We do a 4-beat alap work and then we do a 8-beat fast tan and then we pick up from the mukra. That also can be in 12-beat cycle I'm talking about. Or in a 16-beat cycle we can do a 4-beat alap, then 8 beats fast tan and then we pick up from the 13th beat, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then we say, if my mukra is the som, the first beat, then we again sing normally. So after performing all the tans, and there is also the tabla going on simultaneously. We, for the beautification of the performance, for beautifying the performance, for bringing out the aesthetic beauty of the performance, the vocal musician stops for a while and lets the tabla player do his work. The vocal player sings the bandish over and over again. Then the vocals, the musicians, the vocalists, bandish becomes the time cycle, and on the time cycle the tabla player does all sorts of work, all sorts of beautiful work, and together that makes a beautiful composition. After that again the vocalist starts, and it is towards the end, almost towards the end, singing the Antara, few more tans, then the vocalist can sing gamak, but gamak is usually not sung in vocal performances. Gamak is something, it is vocal Hindustani classical performances. It is something more common in Dhrupad. Gamak is like ga ga da ma ma ga da 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 na na da. That is gamak, which is not. We can sing gamak also, but it is not so in vogue in Hindustani classical music compositions. We sing andolans. That is andolan. Then we do a lot of meer work. Meer work associated with alap work. Mi re ga da ra ma ma da 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 ma ga re pa da Mir. Then we have Kanak's verse, that adjacent notes pertaining to the note I am singing. Adjacent notes, we just lightly touch upon the notes. Na, 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 ma, ma, pa, pa. I'm touching upon ma and then singing pa, 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 na, na. I'm lightly touching upon pa. That is denoted as a superscript on the left side of the main note. So together we combine all Andolan, Kanak's word, Mir, then Tans, then A work. We also do Tans with Akar, with prominent A. This prominence comes with pranayam. If we do pranayam on a regular basis with dham practice is basically counting the seconds standing on a note, singing the note with akar or pronouncing the note. Count the seconds each day, and it is very good practice for toddlers who are shaping their vocal cords. It will be more effective on them than adults because their vocal cords are very tender, and with practice their vocal cords take a shape by 5 years, 5 or 6 years. They take the vocal cords, they develop, the muscles strengthen with regular riyaz and practice and pranayam and dham practice. And the posture is very important. You sit up straight, because if you slouch, sometimes even I slouch, but that is if I were to teach a kid, or if I were to teach my own kid, I would be ensuring that the posture is correct and there is no blockage in the system, so that the sounds come out beautifully, the frequencies come out beautifully from the vocal cords out from the mouth, and proper inhaling and exhaling, and also warm water. Slightly, I take warm water slightly more hot than warm for my muscles. I am adapted to that much heat in the water. Children might find it a bit more hot, but more or less hot, and that helps in washing away the mucus layer that covers the vocal cords as you sing. That mucus layer needs to be washed off after every 15 minutes, at least after every 15 minutes, or when you are feeling that there is a layer of mucus coming in between, you drink, gulp it down. And while you sing, the best way to it is a good practice to gulp, swallow a few times when you are feeling your muscles are straining, or even if they are not straining, after drinking the water you swallow and gulp and swallow. Swallow repeatedly, so that the muscles start relaxing. And coughing is not a good practice, because coughing might actually injure your vocal cords. If you cough, it might injure the vocal cords, and the vocal cords you might feel that your voice is it may be that your voice is broken. You might not be able to control the amount of cough, and you may feel that your voice is broken instead of sounding beautiful after coughing. So coughing is not good. This I have myself experienced. I have experienced that after coughing my voice feels it feels like all the work that I have done to beautify my voice has gone down with coughing. So not coughing, or maybe very controlled coughing, but it's better to swallow. Drink water and swallow repeatedly. Okay, so after the all the Sthayee and Tan and everything, you end up with a Nodha. That is 3 into Sthayee, 3 times Sthayee. It may be a 8-bit. We are performing a Sthayee on 8-bit, so 8 into 3, 24. So it will be a 3, 3 and 2 division, 3, 3, 2 division, 3, 3, 2 division. No. Or we can, if it's Ragyaman. If it's Ragyaman, then end up with a Sthayee like Nire ga ma nire ga ma nire, no, nire ga re ga nire ga re ga nire ga nire ga re ga nire ga re ga nire ga nire ga re ga nire ga re ga nire ga re ma ga So a Sthayee into 3, that is Nodha, and the bowls while doing a Nodha change, the beats change. So automatically the Nodha in combination with the beats sound beautiful, and then we end with a very beautiful alap, moving up and then gradually moving down, and then ending with the note that we started, Sa. That is where we end. So this was all about the structure of a Hindustani classical composition, time cycles, beats, mukra, som. Som is the first beat of a time cycle. Then dum practice can be done at least, if it's done every day it is very good, but at least 4 times a week. For if children are learning, it would be very good for children to do dum practice for the first half an hour along with pranayam, or it can be merged, singing the notes, pronouncing the notes, and then with akar, and then with closing the mouth, bringing out the sound from the stomach, and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. So, and then with Om and Nom, Om, Nom. These are syllables that are used in Drupad, but these help clearing the voice. It's a warm up, it's a practice. The first 1 hour can go on like this with 5 syllables. So deliberating on this note. Then we move on to Re, repeating the entire thing. Like that we go up till Sa, and maybe Re, Ga in the higher octave. If your voice is going smoothly, do not exert your voice to go up. You start from the lower octave as far as your voice will go down naturally without exerting any pressure. From there you start doing these 5 syllables and the note, 5 syllables and the note, and counting the seconds while you deliberate on each note. Then gradually moving up note by note. Then the middle octave, you cover all the notes, and then the higher Sa, and then above that Sa, as far as you can go. With pranayam and practice in the lower octave, you will be with time able to sing the higher notes with ease, bit by bit. It happens especially if you are training from a very tender age. From the age of 3, 4, you can go up till a very high note, up till the highest note in the higher octave, the Sa, upper Sa. And even beyond that, maybe Re, Ga, if that for that you really need to practice from the age of 3 or something. And you go down, you will be able to go down also easily. The lowest note in the lower octave and a bit beyond that. So it comes with practice, dam practice, pranayam in the correct posture every day, and then practicing mir Andolan. Practicing Andolan also helps go up. After practicing the pranayam, gradually try to increase the speed with Andolan. Sa 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 re re ga 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 ma 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 ma. Gradually increasing the speed. Then sa 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 re 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 ga 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 ma 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 pa ma 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 pa da 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 ma 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 ga ga re re sa ni re ga ma 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 ga re sa sa da 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 re 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 ga 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 ma 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 ma. Then you gradually, bit by bit, increase the speed. With practice, with patience, you will be able to sing at higher speeds. You start with 100 BPM, then move on to 110 BPM. You have got apps today to ease your practice sessions. You can monitor the beats technically with digits, so you will be easily able to map your voice with the beats. You can keep your app open in front of you. Take assistance visually to see the notes moving as you sing. You can do that also, but train your ears with the tabla, each beat of the tabla, so that you can catch easily from anywhere. And what was I talking about? Yes, Andolan. Andolan helps open up your voice. Andolan, and that is pretty much it for today. Thank you. Take care.